Hello everyone in Parade Land. This is a magnificent event. Why? It's the 5th anniversary of the humble IME Big Balloon Parade. A tradition for many years, now reaching its 5th anniversary. And what more to celebrate than me riding on a giant hot air balloon. Because, yes, it's time for a Thanksgiving parade for the 5th anniversary. Let's start! The IME 5th anniversary Big Balloon Parade now arriving your way. Hey, something's going wrong. The balloon's caught. Stop! The balloon's going to pop. I mean it, stop! Oh well. Didn't say I warned them. At least I can still fly anyway. Now, the characters drive in. As we enter the 5th anniversary Big Balloon Parade with me, of course, if you saw at the beginning, riding on the giant, what was once a 5 balloon, now completely dangling after it ripped. Well, at least it was still a nice way to begin this 5th anniversary parade, and it's the first of our 18 giant balloons. I think now I'll just let this float, stand as a display stand now, as I watch the parade for you. Of course, we have our golden stars, and we have our robot float. Basically our equivalent to Tom Turkey, the mascot of the Macy's parade. So, heads in with the gamer on the front. There's Hagrid, and then there's little Anakin on the front as well. Pretty good, don't you think? And of course, we can't have a parade without giant balloons, and we're starting off with our very first balloonicle hybrid. And that happens to be Prince Dauntless and Princess Winnifred. And of course, since Prince Winnifred is a balloonicle, he can move around on his own. Whilst with our giant balloons, they're held up with some straws. No handlers required, because this is of course a miniature parade in the style of Lego minifigures. So now, here they are, and they're both furnished by Roger and Hammerstein. Looking very spangling indeed. The next float, and our first main float, happens to be the Powerpuff Girls, riding on giant versions of favourite vehicles and characters. Blossom is riding the Powerpuff smartphone, Bubbles is riding a giant Octi, and Buttercup's riding a giant Mega Blaster Bot. This float furnished, of course, by Cartoon Network. And of course, there they go. So, what do you think it takes to be a Pokemon Master? And do you think that these awesome, mysterious creatures could appear in real life? Well, in the universe of anime, games and trading cards, it's Pokemon. And of course, our parade makes a big catch because Pikachu is here. Furnished by the Pokemon Company International. Of course, Pichu is the pre-evolved form of Pikachu, and once it's reached high friendship, it can evolve into a lovely Pikachu. And with a Thunderstone, Pikachu can evolve into a Raichu, but most certainly Ash Ketchum's Pikachu doesn't really want to evolve. He wants to just be how he is. And not forgetting Pokemon Sword and Shield, as there is going to be 2 expansions. One, and they're both available right now. The Isle of Armor, which focuses on the theme of growth, and the Crown Trauna, which focuses on the theme of exploration. And that's certainly what this balloon is doing today in today's parade. It's time to pick some patches at the pumpkin factory. Hey, look, there's 2 giant pumpkins with Mario and Captain Jack Sparrow riding them. And there's a giant jack-o'-lantern following behind. Oh yes. Certainly the pick of the patch that you'd really want to have. A giant pumpkin, of course. And as they go, here come the A2O Adventures crew. They haven't appeared for a long time in a show, but they're still in the parade, still travelling along and still making sure they're on the missions to catch the evil villains of the show, which also appear in the parade. And of course, here's a giant big balloon that we always seem to see quite a bit, and he's returning here for the 5th anniversary parade. He was one of our original characters when he was an old balloon, but here he is, he's back. It's the Quick Bunny, furnished by Nestle as part of Nesquik's delightful, delicious full drinks. And here he's a band's leader, the only band's leader in the whole parade, tapping the beat to his own drum. Thank you very much, Quick Bunny. Certainly a time to lower yourself a bit and head into there. Have a nice quick. Ooh, look at this. It's the giant robot who we like seeing, the mega humble machine. And somehow no one's riding it today. Maybe they decided that it would not be good to take over the world. And look at this. If you can see right here, there's a giant boat. So, what's inside the boat, you may ask? Oh, it's just the fireman from the fire department scooting about. And appearing for his 2nd parade now is the giant spud we all love and want to eat and grow hair grass on, Mr. Potato Head. But not just any old Mr. Potato Head, it's healthy Mr. Potato Head, furnished by Hasbro, the creator. He's got a giant big mouth, a cheesy grin, no pun intended, a red nose, a green hat, pink ears, and a giant water bottle, just when he feels the need for quenching. Maybe you could see where the new Mr. Potato Head toys are in your local toy store. Maybe you could have a nice cheesy grin like he does. Makes me want to smile. Hello there, Mr. Potato Head. Now, here comes another float, another favourite in the parade, and that is the Firefighter Jubilee Band. They're playing music whilst one of the members is driving. Feels like Fireman Sam to me. Boo 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 doo boo doo boo doo, la 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 la. Must be difficult to sing and play while wearing breathing apparatus, don't you think, Firefighter? Yeah. And they're followed on with the Harold the Fireman balloon. Their good friend indeed. A recreation of an old balloon from the Macy's parade as well. And adapted here. What superhero do you think of when you see a red chest with a black spider on, and on the back a red spider, and you see this mask? Yep, it's our friendly neighborhood hero, Spider-Man, furnished by Marvel Entertainment. Spider-Man is once again crawling on and promoting his new movie and his last appearance in our parade. Well, at least in this design. Spider-Man 3, coming out in 2021. So what more could Peter Parker be asking for? And of course, always joined by our Marvel float right on the bottom, attached to the balloon. Very unique combination indeed. And heading in also onto the route are two more favourite character balloons. Here are Pepperoni and his little son, Pepperoni, as they surf round on the parade route. Followed on by our second part balloons. Smiley face finished by Harvey Ball and the yellow stars. With of course the giant spaceship float with Jay from Ninjago on there, as well as Jar Jar Binks and a pilot. What more could you ask for? And here we are. Here is the clown that we all love to see. It's the one, the only Ronald McDonald, furnished by the McDonald's Corporation, of course. Yep, Ronald is back wearing his yellow tuxedo and looking very festive indeed. And there he is, travelling along in the route, in the air, flying. One of our highest flyers, to be honest with you. Now, turning to our left, as I watch along the way. Oh yes. Hello, Ronald. Hello, Ronald indeed. But as I said, hello Ronald. It's nice to see you. Yeah, I better get on before. And hey look, it's the big red shoe calf, also furnished by McDonald's. But for some reason we never see Ronald on it at all. We always see other characters, like these characters from the Lego Movie 2, the second part. The Goblin, Emmett and Wild Style. Or Lucy. Whatever name suits better. Hey look, the Lego City Police Force have arrived now on their snowmobile and snowmobile. And like with the fire float, they are also surrounded by someone blue. Harold the fireman, of course. Patrolling the route in case there's any trouble heading along. And a brand new float indeed is Baloo from Blue's Clues. From Blue's Clues and You. Baloo is replicated as a giant balloon, a balloon attached to a float, filled up with cold air. Well, it's still paper, but still wouldn't want to miss out this lovely float. And of course we have Steve Burns on there. One of the supporting characters from the show. Like, sure enough, it doesn't look like him, nor Joe or Josh, but oh well. He was the only one who could join today. He used to be Blue's owner, but of course he gave them to Joe and then to Josh, and then yeah, the rest goes on. And as I've said before, this is furnished by Nickelodeon. Now, I think you know who this character is. Everyone does. It's SpongeBob SquarePants with Sandy Cheeks sitting on the top. How SpongeBob can breathe in the air, I'll never know, but and they are, because look at who's up in the air. SpongeBob and Gary the Snail. They debuted in 3 parades ago, or 2 parades ago, and this is their 3rd appearance now. Flying high in the sky. SpongeBob's legs are dangling up as the straws hold them up, and Gary. It's nice to see Gary standing on the float. Well, standing on top of SpongeBob's head, that is. Because if you could imagine, SpongeBob could just be flying her out, but thankfully enough, Gary is sitting on top, smiling as always with SpongeBob. One of our favourite additions to the parade, and once again furnished by Nickelodeon. Another thing we always like having in our big balloon parades is, of course, our Disney section. And we start off the Disney section this time with the wagon, of course. Minnie Mouse and Daisy Duck are on it this time. Sorry about that, guys. My throat was a little bit tickly. Now here comes a new character. First time as a balloonicle. And that is none other than Mickey Mouse. Furnished by the Walt Disney Company. Yeah, Mickey is a balloonicle dressed up in his sorcerer's outfit. And since he's a balloonicle, he can move. We've seen him before as a giant helium balloon in different costumes. Now, he's back as a giant balloonicle, of course. And hey, look, I can see it too. Hello, Mickey. Now here comes our castle float, featuring all your favourite Disney characters. And so on the bottom we have Mickey and Donald. Now, for the first time ever as a character, we have our favourite lovable pal Goofy. Mickey and Donald are standing right next to him to promote this awesome moment. We've seen him as Santa Goofy before, but here now he's finally a character. And on the top, who could that be? Oh yes, they're the two former presenters from Playhouse Disney UK, Dave Benson Phillips and Alex Lovell. Finally, they're in our parade on the Disney float. How nice, don't you think? And now here comes a character who's returning to the parade. One of our favourites, Donald Duck, furnished by the Walt Disney Company as well. So Donald is, well, flying high with his legs sticking out. And it seems like he's enjoying it one bit. He doesn't feel like he wants to have a temper this time. This is no ordinary Donald. Kind of odd why we'd have him instead of Goofy, because Goofy's the new character in the block. But oh well, it's still nice to see Donald anyway, because he didn't seem to make many appearances last time when this balloon debuted because of Santa Goofy, but still, it's still nice to see him anyway. Of course, there goes. Wow, Donald, you just went out of control, didn't you? Quack, 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 quack. And there goes the float. Another float that we've also seen right here is this novelty balloon appearing for the second time now. The giant birthday cake. Celebrating all the 5th anniversary of this big balloon parade. And then of course, here comes the clones again. Every day, they always seem to have a lot of fun on this float. They always seem to do its equivalent to Sesame Street. Who knows, maybe they'll be gone soon. Help! Stupid float. It fell down. Come on, move, will ya? There we go, standing up again. Goodbye, clones. Appearing for the very first time ever is this 4-year-old fairy in training, Abby Cadabby, furnished by Sesame Workshop. So, as you'd expect, Abby is of course a fairy in training, and sometimes she doesn't always seem to get everything right with her wand, but you can see her wand is doing its job today at keeping her afloat, thanks to the straws. So, as we know, Abby has parents and they're divorced, and she lives mainly with her mum. However, recently, her mum got remarried, and now Abby has a new stepbrother called Rudy, who sometimes borrows her wand without realising and sometimes causes a monumental mess of things. But don't worry, Abby as well as the viewers can help out interactively every day on Sesame Street, airing on HBO Max and your local PBS station in the States. Oh, look at this. It's an evil skeleton wanting a bit of ice cream. And along the way we have this float returning for the first time in like a while. So yeah, cool, don't you think? And now here is our new addition to our custom balloons. And this is a custom character, like with the previous one. And this is TNT. A Mickey Mouse-esque like character furnished by Alex Spark, one of the members of the Macy's Parade Wiki. This is a time when we normally transfer these custom characters into these one-off mini heritage balloons. And here, TNT is following along with the blue stars. And then we head on to another Macy's Parade Wiki sponsored float. One that we've seen for a little while now, and that is the Robloxian. Although this time there's no one on board. It's just the Robloxian itself. And furnished by DC Entertainment is Superman on the Batcar. Oh yes, the Batcar. Something pretty amazing right there. Now, here comes our next newbie, and well, next character balloon. And this is a character who you might have recognised from old television commercials as well as the famous book Where the Wild Things Are. It is one of the Wild Things, named Wild Thing, furnished by Hodder, the publisher of the original book. So if you can see here, Wild Thing is flying high. And if you know the story, well, I'll give you a recap. Little Max gets sent to his room without supper, and then he dreams that his house is a forest where the wild things are. Everyone knows this popular book, so it's nice that we'd see him as a giant balloon for the first time. And thankfully enough, he hasn't popped, so he had a better successful debut than the real life counterpart. But oh well, at least that one managed to fly in the end. Our next float, heading up to the parade route, is our favourite prince. And he is riding on the giant plane float, based on Lego Island Extreme Stunts, an old video game. Yeah. It feels like because of this, he can fly. In fact, you could actually have a camera cam on there, and let's just say, yeah, you get the idea. And in fact, here's a balloon who's also riding on a plane. It's Hello Kitty, furnished by Sanrio. Hello Kitty once again appears on a Yellow Kitty aeroplane, flying up high, and I mean really high. She's one of our highest flyers, mainly because of her size. She used to be our first animated character balloon because her propeller used to spin, but now it doesn't really spin anymore. But still, it's nice seeing Hello Kitty flying high because, as what she says, you can never have too many friends. And we can never have enough of Hello Kitty. And now, our next float, heading up to the parade route, is our Star Wars float. But there's a lot less characters this time to choose from. And there's Bubba for some reason. There's Lukey, R2, C3PO, and a few others. I don't know where the others have gone, but somewhere, I guess. Here's one of our longest floats in the parade. And that's saying something. And now, who would you think of who would eat these amazing and tasty treats? Well, it's someone right up here. Donuts. Yep, Homer Simpson. Furnished by 20th Century Studios. Once again, Homer's making rise up on The Simpsons, being how he normally is. And here he's trying to chase after his beloved donut. He's rocking around. Maybe he's rocking around on a Christmas tree or something. Nah. Still, Homer is returning for the first time. He didn't appear last parade, but once again he's back. And hopefully he can finally grab that donut on the ground. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, I think so. Now, here comes some of your favourite Simpsons characters on their own little float, also furnished by 20th Century Studios. And with Homer on the front, there's Bart, Marge, there's Maggie, Milhouse, all sorts. A complete surrounding of various characters from the show. And now, we're on to the beginning of the Christmas unit. Which means Santa is just on the very corner. And we have our ice cream cone float, which we saw last time, and it's back here. Strawberry and pistachio with cherries. How yummy is that? And heading on is our title float for the end half of the parade, or the second half, whatever normally happens. We're almost close now. We've only got 4 character balloons left. 4 novelties at least. And a few balloons and a balloonicle left. And what do we have here? We have this, our last main float before we turn over to the Christmas section. And it's a robot with an alien. Generic, but as of course to be expected. Harry's traditional character design. And here is our first Christmassy section in the parade. It's Snow Pow, a new original balloonicle. Basically, a balloon that can move on its own. How wacky is that? And he looks very snug with a hat, scarf, and gloves, as well as a carrot nose and pink cheeks. He's a bit like my equivalent to Snowbo and Jolt the Snowman. Now here comes the Percy the Penguin float. This time we have a snake on it. A suspicious looking snake. And don't blink, oh you'll miss Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is back once again here and furnished by Paramount and Sega of Europe. Sonic is represented in his baby form in this balloon. He's holding a flower and he's looking quite as cute as ever. And once again, you can be able to purchase the Sonic movie at your local store, or you can get it online or through digital download today. And don't forget, a sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog is coming out in 2022, so please be warned. It's a sequel that you'd never want to speed along and see to, or would you? That flower certainly smells nice. If you can see up there. Yes. Now, here comes some walk-arounds. We have an astronaut riding along with his thing. A little go-karty thing. And they're followed on with the Panda Bear balloon. Another novelty based on an old Macy's Parade balloon as well. Yay! Hey look, the market has come to town. Oh yes. A great market indeed. What more could you ask for? Well, you know what. You could sell anything and buy anything here. There's a chef cooking up some cookies and biscuits. And there's a pie maker. There's a trophy guy, and whoa, delicious ovenness. Yummy. And now here comes a character who's been a parade favourite for a little while, since 2018, like with Quick Bunny. That is Garfield, furnished by Paws Incorporated and Nickelodeon. Since Garfield has been purchased by Nickelodeon, he's going to make a comeback very soon with a new series that will air on Nickelodeon. What, will he be as lazy, and will Pookie be there as normal? You'll just have to see. This is Garfield's final appearance, well, in this design, in this parade. You certainly enjoyed it as much as we have. Thank you very much, Garfield. We like you a lot. As much as the fact that you're always a lazy cat, but oh well. Never put off tomorrow what you could eat today. Now, here comes the Toy Factory float. Normally there's someone sitting on the float, but this time it's plain empty. Not much to say. Do ya? Other than the fact there's loads of toys, but we always get toys during Christmas. Well, some people do. Like me. Hey look! Here's a face that we haven't seen for a little while. It's Snuggle! Wrapped up in a delightful brown fur and a delightful red Christmas stocking too. He is furnished by Hankel North American Consumer Goods, the owners of the Snuggle fabric softener brand. And of course he's waving to the crowd like you normally do. And he's also Santa's personal escort too. Well, sort of. Because you'll see next. All my friends are down here on this float. They're all playing games together. How fun is that? Hey, Aaron, James, Ben, Oscar, come here. Come off the float. Yes? You can watch Santa Claus, giant Santa up here. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Don't forget me. Ooh, look at this. It's the Christmas String of Lights float. Normally they glow in the dark, but since it's too light, they can't glow. It's nice to see them back again. Here is the Snow Family. Ooh, Snow Family Holiday. A float dedicated to, well, all of this. There's an angel made out of ice. There's snowmen and snow women everywhere. Oh, and two young little ice skaters. Surely a skating paradise. For all I'd know. Sometimes they can fall off, but that's okay. They can always stand back up again. Wow, if you can see, right at the end is, well, more floats. And now, who holds a giant rucksack full of toys and presents and all sorts? And who has a white beard? And who says ho ho ho? Well, for the very first time ever, is our largest character balloon ever. Yes, it's Santa Claus the balloon. Right here and right now. He is our largest character balloon ever, and our main highlight of today's parade. A great addition to the 5th anniversary that makes you say ho 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 even during these difficult times. Now he'll stand right here as a nice background for us all, next to our deflated giant thingy. Our last major float happens to be Rudolph. He hasn't appeared in the parade for a little while, but now he's back with a vengeance with this all new float. Look at all of this. It's Santa's workshop, and there's some elves helping out. Little kid wanting to meet Santa, but he's not on the throne. And oh yes. A new novelty balloon's here, and it's a giant multicolored candy cane. You'd really want to lick that, wouldn't you? It's such a tasty thing. And yeah. Now here comes a great selection of people and other things. With a drone for some reason. And they're leading away because who do we normally see near Santa? Well, it's the goofy gnome. Back from hibernation again. And he's once again as goofy as ever. Now, let's see who's behind all of them. Yep, it's the man you've all been waiting for. Santa Claus! And here he comes. Right to our parade. With his huskies. And a giant Christmas tree too. This is a magnificent sight. And now, I think it's time for us to, well, park Santa. Santa's gonna come out of his sled. And he's gonna what? Go up? Like, what's he gonna do? He's joined all of us on the top of the... Wow! And the reason why? We've turned the old Christmas unit into a giant big party. Complete with giant Santa and Snuggle. This is what we'd say to us. Happy 5th anniversary, Big Balloon Parade. The original and the best. To some people. Goodbye everyone. And this is the end. Goodbye everyone.